Hi there and welcome to a new process video for Citrus Twist Kit. This is Natalie and I am so happy to come today with my take on the Sunday sketch. And this sketch is actually a very nice one, very simple, lots of layers, but of course I'm going to put a twist on them. And what I'm going to use to create this layout is actually the September 2019 add-on kit, and it's packed with lots of Maggie Holmes Heritage collection, which is a new collection, and lots of muted tones, beautiful colors. As always, Trina has put something together really nice. So my idea is, like I said, I'm gonna stay as close as I can to the sketch, and actually stay pretty close because I want to document this picture of my husband and I. A couple of weeks ago we went to my brother-in-law's wedding and I took quite a few pictures, and what I'm gonna do is, if you see the sketch, there's a little right next to the picture there is a piece of paper that has some rhomboids, and the bonus cards, the 3x4 bonus cards the subscribers get, it actually has that card. But I want to actually replace it with a pocket. I'm going to create a pocket out of vellum. If you go to the Citrus Twist Kit digital shop, you can find a card file to create the pocket. There's also a punch that you can purchase to create the pocket, but I'm going to do it offhand. I've done it a few times, so I'm pretty comfortable with creating this. So what I'm going to need is whatever size journal card you're using, you're gonna have to a piece of vellum that's twice the width of that, plus I'm gonna say around an inch, and then the height of the card. So what you're gonna do is make sure that you fold the vellum so that the seam fits at at the back. So if the card in my case is 3x4, the width of my fold is going to be 3, and the flaps that I have towards the back, I'm going to glue them together. But before I glue them, I am going to actually create a bottom flap. So you're going to see that once I create my seam at the back, I flip, I'm going to say around a quarter, maybe 3/4 of an inch. I flipped to create the flap, and then I open it. I cut the excess because you don't want to have that bulkiness at the bottom, so I cut the pieces from the flaps that are gonna go inside to create the seam, and then cut little notches at the front and then create the fold. And that's all that you're gonna need for the card. I'm gonna glue it together, and what I usually do is just create a little notch on the little pocket at the front so that it's easier for me to pull in and out the card. And that's about it. I'm gonna set that aside and start working on all the layers for the layout, and I'm gonna stay really true to the sketch when it comes to the layers. You're gonna see that I'm gonna use my little score and cut board just so it's make it easier for me to mark everything. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a little bit of removable tape to keep all the pieces together so I'm able to work easier. So I'm starting with papers from, like I said, from the kit. I chose a lot of neutral papers, a lot of pinks. I wanted something really muted just because I really love the tones in this collection, and I transformed the picture to black and white because when we went to the wedding, the space was beautiful, but there was a lot of yellow light, the choice my brother-in-law decided to go with, so I just transformed it to black and white to make it easier. And like I said, I'm using the board to help me size my layers, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just start building it. I'm gonna stay very true to the sketch, like I said, and I am gonna go for something really soft, and you're gonna see that I'm gonna go, like I said, I'm gonna go for very neutral layers, but then to mat everything together, I'm gonna go with a blue paper. And this blue paper is actually, I think, from from the new Shimel collection. Is also included in the kit, and I really love this blue paper. It actually really hurt me to cut it because I thought it was a beautiful paper, but I thought it was perfect to mat everything together, to kind of ground it. And the fact that I'm going to use a white background, this is just going to make everything stand out. So once I have everything, like all the layers put together, I'm actually going to glue them together. What I did is, behind the picture, I added a piece of cardstock just to lift it a bit from the page, and but that's about it. So like I said, I am going to use a piece of white cardstock for my background, but I don't want to leave it plain, and this is where I change it a little bit from the sketch. If you see the sketch, at the bottom of the sketch there's a little line that's stitched, and also at the top I'm gonna keep the line of paper at the top, but I'm gonna replace the line at the bottom. And my idea is I'm gonna bring some shine, and I'm kind of gonna frame everything together. The collection that we're using has a lot of gold in it, so my choice is I'm gonna mix a little bit of iridescent paste and also gold glaze, and this is all from Vicky Boutin. I'm I'm gonna mix it together, and then I'm gonna use my stencil brush again from Vicky Button just to create a frame around all the layers that I have. And for that, I'm bringing a stencil. This stencil is one that I have in my stash for a while, but it creates roses. So I thought, there's a lot of roses in the paper, so I'm going to use it here. And all I do is, with my stencil brush, pick up a little bit of the paste and go in a circular motion on top of the stencil. And that's going to create the impression without adding a lot of texture. It's just going to give that shine to the paper. And like you see, because I marked where everything was gonna sit, I'm able to create that border, and actually it takes no time to dry because it's such a thin application. So once I have that in place, I'm gonna set it aside to dry, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna cut that little strip of paper that you see at the top of the sketch, and I'm actually gonna take it off camera and stitch through it with my sewing machine. And also I'm gonna add a line of stitching at the bottom of the page, but I'm not gonna add the paper. Once I have that in place, I'm just gonna distress the edges of the papers of all the layers with just my nail, just because I wanted a little bit of distress, just okay, like the papers kind of fold a little bit and you can see the background, and I'm gonna set it in place. After that is all about decorating this layer. So one of the things I'm gonna use is the title comes from the puffy stickers that comes in the kit. This is from the Maggie Holmes Heritage Collection. I actually use the Project Life digital cards to create my Lanzo journal. So I went to the computer, typed them up, and then I'm just gonna trim it so it actually fits inside of the pocket. Now the only thing is that the sentiment in the card talked about exploring. So my choice is I'm gonna use some of the stickers that comes in the Maggie Holmes Heritage Collection. The sticker book is actually included in the kit, so I'm gonna use some of them just to kind of mask the area. I'm gonna use a little label, and then I'm gonna use one of the phrases, but because they are translucent, they're like an acetate finish, so you can see through them. I'm actually gonna add the phrase to a piece of cardstock and cut around it, and that's just gonna create a kind of blur the background completely. After that, I am gonna add a few accents of gold. You're gonna see that I bring a few stickers from the Pink Fresh Studio Office Hours collection that is included in the kit. I'm actually gonna I added a sentiment that says, I think it says "Hey Love" right behind at the top right corner of the picture, just where I put it, that little bow. Not the only thing that you don't see is that I added those stickers and those little flags at the top of the page, and that's something that also the sketch originally has. After that, all I'm gonna do is just add some stamping. The sketch asks for some stamping underneath the title, and I'm gonna use the Conversation stamp set. This is the volume 2, and I'm also gonna use volume 1 just to add the continuous stamping underneath the title. And I'm also gonna add one right underneath the picture. And just because I saw that area was a little bit empty, I'm actually gonna use one of the butterflies from the sticker book. I'm gonna add it to some vellum because I want to keep the translucency, and then I'm gonna fussy cut around it, and I'm actually gonna glue it right underneath what I stamped and sentence next underneath the picture. After that, I'm pretty much done. So all I'm gonna do is add a few more accents of gold, and for this I'm gonna use a little bit of Heidi Swapp color shine, just because I want the look of ink. And once I had that, I also bring a little bit of black ink just to contrast it and to bring some of that black that I have going everywhere. And that's about it. I love how this turned out. It's a little bit different than what I do. It's straight lines, but I love it. I find it really soft. I find it, I find it really classy. And I think the idea for this game, because we actually dressed up and we don't go out as much. We are very humble. We like to stay at home a lot, but because my brother-in-law got married, we were all dressed up, and I thought it was great to celebrate 19 years together. And if you have any questions on how this came together, don't hesitate to contact me. Check the sketch. It's available on the blog right now, as well as some close-ups of the project. Don't forget to check out the kits from Citrus Twist Kits. They started shipping, and there's a promotion if you want to subscribe for the Life Crafted kit. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys, and I hope to see you very soon. Take care.